I was planning to be a cowboy the rest of my life and maybe be on the board a while. And but I was getting very uncomfortable, actually, knowing where this was headed. And it said as much to the board. But one day, Bill Coors, who was vice chair of the board at the time, called me at the ranch and asked if he could maybe come up for lunch someday. So, sure. I thought it was just a social thing, because we'd become good friends. Anyway, so he came, and it was very pleasant until about dessert. and he asked if I would be willing to be chancellor of the university. That we needed to make a change, then the board thought I should do the job.
So when you came on as chancellor, what did you discover? Were things as bad or worse, or what did you find?
Things were at least as bad as I thought. What I also didn't fully appreciate before is that the student applications and new student numbers were declining fairly precipitously. And so we were really in trouble. And I thought, gee, I can probably fix the financial side for a while, but we've got a bigger problem here. The campus was not being properly maintained. The faculty were unhappy and worried, and some were thinking of departing.
What led you to the decision that the physical aspects of the campus were an important thing to begin on?
I also said, I want buildings that'll be beautiful ruins in 1,000 years. Anyway, crazy. But people also want to contribute to something that is of quality and enduring. A good example, I think, is the Newman Center that Bob and Judy Newman and lots of other folks, Joy Burns and so on, gave us money for. The Gates folks, and there are a whole range of folks who did that. We wouldn't build a building until we had 80% of the money. That was our line. We didn't start building until we were at 80% of what would be needed to finish it. And that was the right number.
Well, so you had these two wonderful ranches, one in California, one in Colorado, places, and I know how much you loved them. And then you gave it all away to the University of Denver.
Yes.
It's a legendary story here at the university. What made you do it, and why did you give it all to the University of Denver?
I was going to say I'm not quite sure why I did it. But no, it was needed to do what needed to be done. The ranch in Santa Barbara really paid for much of the engineering and computer science facility, and the Colorado ranch was sold in pieces to do different things that needed to be done.
Those properties brought the university roughly $100 million, which today would be worth much more. But it was a pivotal point. It inspired others, and it moved the university, as you said, a great way.
It is a different place, as it should be, but the principle of how you lead is the same, in my view. To do either well, it should be a bottoms-up process. The folks in the front line, whether it's in the classroom or on the athletic field or whatever it is, know more about it than you do, than I did anyway. And they need to be listened to and feel a part of it and know that you're there for them. You're not trying to use them for your own advancement or survival, as the case may be. One of the reasons I decided not to go away after 3 years was the faculty. You know, we had a much better faculty than I realized when I was on the board, because they did care about the students. And it's not, and I thought they'll reject me or whatever, but we really worked together and had a great time. And the faculty is really what makes all this work.